Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pick City Podcast. It is week 9 in the NFL, what I'm deeming and calling separation week, where teams start to prove actually who they truly really are. Speaking of who you truly, really are, I am Zachary Ivy, and beside of me is my buddy. You see by the hat, he's a dad, but he's a friend, and he's my co-host.
Alexander Walker.
What is his name?
I'm excited to be here again, and hopefully I keep my semi-hot streak I got going in primetime games, Only missed one out of the last 2 weeks, so hopefully we keep that rolling. We'll see, though.
Yeah, and hopefully I forget that they're primetime games and just make better picks, because now
Yeah, I learned I need to just ignore, history and let it, try to, bait me into something, because I believed in Green Bay more than Pitt, but I was like, dude, history tells me I need to go Pitt here. So I went Pitt. They got me, bro. That little history got put out there and it drew me in. It was a bait history thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, last week, I don't even know how bad it really was, but
And then San Fran, freaking the Houston being favorite. I don't feel like they should be, bit me.
hey, Jimmy ain't got my record from last week updated. What is this?
I think Jimmy's on vacation with the fam.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we are recording only 3 hours earlier than we told him, so I guess he waits the last second. But anyways, yeah, my primetime picks, I'm trying to fade myself. I'm trying to go against this. I'm trying to go against that. It's brutal, man. It really is. But hopefully we get back on track this week from the Ivy picks. But Alexander, let's get into these picks, okay? How are you feeling overall about the NFL? You said you're kind of not want to base it on history and what. Do you feel like you have a good idea of what these teams are right now, or you feel like you're still struggling to see?
Some teams I'm still out for water on, but then I feel like I kind of feel like a lot of the teams right now at the top are at the top because they're really good teams, and you need to just believe in them and stop trying to think they're just going to fall apart.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be shocked to know the Packers. I mean, they did tie, but they have one loss, and they've not really seemed like the best version of themselves most games this year. That's the first team that comes to mind where it's like you want to fade them, but why? All right, Alexander. I'm going to let you go first on this one. We do both have 3 of our picks, and we ended up matching them up where we don't have any of the exact same picks. So maybe we'll counter each other's, or maybe we'll want to share that we were close to picking one of those. But just for those of you unfamiliar with the format, we pick 3 of our most confident picks on the Sunday slate, and that does not include the Sunday night game. So decent options here. Not as many teams on buys, but hopefully a better week of football than last week. Alexander was at the pumpkin patch, his annual trip, while the birds were not on a bye. But regardless of that, Alexander, you didn't miss much good football. So that's the positive. Hopefully we have better football this week.
Yeah, hopefully. It was fun, though, getting to wear my Kelly Green Hurts jersey at a pumpkin patch. I mean, that was pretty hype. I ran into a little kid. He was wearing a Saquon shirt. He was like, Mom, look, he's wearing a Hurts jersey. It's like, let's go. Got an Eagles fan here.
Him?
Yeah, I ran him over, dude. Knocked the kid on the ground.
Dang. I knew Hurts was a bad teammate, but my God. I'm just kidding. Love you, Jalen. All right. Alexander, you go first. Let's get this cooking, baby.
All right, first Pig City pick of the week for me. Have Minnesota taking on Denver or Detroit. Detroit is 8.5-point favorites. And let me just say, I'm going Detroit in this one. Like I said when I started it, when they're the top team, you don't fade them. Detroit right now, I think, is probably one of, if not the best team in the National Football League on the NFC side. So you just got to believe in Detroit at this point. I get it's an 8.5. It's a big line, but I don't believe in Minnesota. I'm all in on Detroit at this point. So give me Detroit. I love what they have cooking up there. Their offense is just going to be too much for Minnesota to handle.
All right, I love the analysis, Alexander, but I just want to say this is not a gotcha thing, okay? I want to make that very clear. I'm being very genuine with what I'm about to say. Guys, we're in week 9. Our preseason thoughts and feelings on these teams, they're so far gone now. We're analyzing what's happening now. So, Alexander, I'm not bringing up the whole Vikings thing where you believed in them and thought they were good and how J.J. McCarthy might be back, okay? I'm not bringing up any of that. What I am bringing up is this Vikings team looks like a shell of themselves. They're leaving Carson Wentz out there getting absolutely destroyed. Dude's done for the year, maybe for his career. Kevin O'Connell, this quarterback rehab clinic, it might be shut down. And I don't know if it can save JJ. I don't know if they're already regretting. I saw headlines already this week. We're not going to do this conversation. But maybe they should have stuck with Sam Darnold. It's hard to argue that right now.
Hey, JJ comes in, though, and finally gets going. He could be the savior of the season, put him in the playoffs. All the Viking fans would love him. But it's a tough game just to come back from, which I don't even
And
know if he's actually playing yet or not. But
in Detroit coming off some rest. That's the thing where when you're unsure of a quarterback and Detroit just has to win by double digits at home, yeah, I like this pick by you. I completely agree. I am not looking forward to watching this Vikings offense at all. I mean, it's fun, I guess, if you're watching the Lions just have explosive plays. I mean, again, I'll be watching all these without the birds. I'll be trying to tune in as much as I can, hopefully with you, since you had a bye week of yourself last week with me. All right, Alexander, I'll go next. I'm going to go with the matchup where also we're not exactly sure who the starting quarterback is, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. 2.5-point favorites in New York. You've been mentioning the McCaffrey playing in New York. That storyline is not good for his health, for the field. But Alexander, this San Francisco team, last week was the first time they've really looked not very good at all, especially on offense. Kittle's back. This is third game back, and whether Mac Jones or Brock Purdy is under center, this 49ers team is better than this Giants team by more than a field goal. I don't care where they're playing. It's not like the Giants being at home are going to make them a better team. We saw the Giants win the Super Bowl when they beat the Eagles in week 6 or 7 of a regular season game. Didn't do that on purpose for all you that just did that motion grow up. Anyways, Jackson Dart, he may still be concussed. And this 49ers team, if there's one thing they do really well, it's they don't string together bad offensive performances in a row. And McCaffrey was stuffed over and over and over again. The Texans absolutely beat them up. I mean, that game was total domination. And again, Alexander, you got suckered into the line, and most of the people did. Why was Houston favored against San Francisco? It's just the way it was. But all that being said, I'm fully in on San Francisco. This is my favorite pick of the week. I think they're going to absolutely just do everything they can, anything they want to against the Giants. And whoever's at quarterback's not going to have to do a whole lot.
yeah, for that one, I like San Fran in it, but I stayed away from it just because that Giants team this year, it just seems like one week you could pick right going against them, and then the next week they could randomly just get something going, go off, and then blow up your pick. So it just felt like two of a wild card of a team to pick against with San Fran. Like, hopefully they have Purdy back this week, but if not, then they're rolling out Mac Jones again, which we've seen Mac Jones has looked good early on, but he's still dealing with a bunch of injuries. So,
Yeah. If he was healthy, then it'd be a little easier to see,
yeah. So I just didn't want any part of that.
Yeah, the Giants are a broken team. They've always been a broken franchise in the past, 15 years. But Alexander, that fourth quarter against the Broncos, I'm telling you, they're not recovering from that anytime soon. And should I say it or no? We can move on.
Say it, then we'll move on.
Can we stop acting like the Cam Scatabo is like Barry Sanders and was going to be this legendary running? It's sad he got injured, sure, I guess. But I mean, yeah, he was a heartbeat. Dude, they had 3 fun weeks. I don't know. I know that he's a fan favorite and it sucks on injury. You could also argue it's best case for narrative's sake that 2 years from now we're still going to be saying just wait till he comes back, because the first year back from the injury they're going to say, well, it's really the second year. At a certain point injuries happen and they're sad, but why are we crowning this guy because he runs into walls and is like a psycho? I don't know. I shouldn't have said it. I don't know why I said it. Cut that.
You went there. My next Pig City pick of the week is going to go to the matchup of Atlanta against New England. New England is 5.5-point favorites at home. And again, I said it. The cream has risen to the top. Trust yourself. Trust the team. So I'm going New England in this one. I get it's 5.5, but Atlanta, it kind of goes against what I said a minute ago. They're a wild card team. They're just, you don't know which version of them is going to show up. That's what makes this pick scary. But even with, if they get Penix and London back, they're both coming back off of injuries. I don't know. At this point, they're both still not been ruled starting, so they're still semi-banged up. So that's enough for me to not believe in what they're going to put out there, because, if Kirk Cousins is on the field, we saw what it was last week. It was awful. And New England's just clicking right now. They look really good. Drake May looks amazing. We might actually get to see Henderson be the lead back, so that could be good. But yeah, I like New England in this one at 5.5. Not thinking much about it.
Yeah, I love the Patriots in this game and this season. I guess the only thing that you could ask is well, why didn't I pick it is, my game. It wasn't even my top 5 this week. Literally exactly what you said, though. And I'm going against what I said because I actually think the Giants. I actually think the Falcons are a wild card team where the Giants are not. I think the Giants are just a broken team at this point and are bad. They've had a couple good showings. The Falcons, this seems like a spot where, like, is there anyone that is going to say they're going to win this game? I know they just have to cover, but, like, I don't think there's anybody like, yeah, the Falcons, this is the game where they get right. All right. So that's what scares me, where it just feels like everybody's going to be on the Patriots. And I get nervous because 5.5 isn't a big enough line to like scare you away if you think the Patriots are going to win easily, just like you said. But yeah, I would not go against you in this. I hope you're right. I'm worried. I'm worried about this one. I guess I shouldn't be. I mean, this is also the same franchise that was up 28-3 against this team. So you think there's not going to be 28-3 signs all throughout just for the fans to see? Because like realistically, there's probably nobody hardly in this Falcons organization even affiliated with that game. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. My pick, Alexander. No, I'm going to go with one that you probably like also, okay? My second pick for my picks of the week is the Indianapolis Colts, 3 points favorite going into Pittsburgh. Steelers offense is starting to get clicking, looking good. Aaron Rodgers, sure, you could say he's a lesser version of himself, but he still can throw the ball. The biggest thing you see is their red zone numbers with him compared to the past few years. Incredibly better. But Alexander, this Colts team, if you've ever been right about something, is that you were really starting to buy into this Colts team before the year started. And that so much has to do with, yes, Jonathan Taylor's been incredible. Yes, Daniel Jones has played well. But you know where I'm going with this. Where the game is won at, this Colts offensive line has been dominant. Quentin Nelson up front is just moving people. And when you're able to control a game like that, I see no world in which this Steelers team, unless TJ Watt has like 4 strip sack fumbles. Again, when are we going to start saying that him and Myles Garrett are both elite, but they're not the same? Give me Myles Garrett easily. Anyways, that's first take talk there. The Colts are going to roll the Steelers. I don't even feel like it's bold to say that. And don't give me this like, yeah, but it's the Steelers at home. It doesn't matter. When your line play is this good, the only way the Steelers compete is if they score a ton. Can they do that? Yes. We just saw them do that against the Bengals. The Colts defense is not the Bengals defense. Colts easy in this one. I'd even push the lineup if you really want to throw some more on.
Yeah,
I'd go 5.5 to be honest.
Yeah, I really like that one as well. I actually had them in my consideration, and then Jimmy, tipped me off and said that you had it. So if I have any other game that I like just as well, throw it in there so we could talk about something different so we ain't riding the same. I don't know if he was looking out for me because I think statistically when we ride together, we miss more than we hit.
He
I
probably
don't know
just
what
wanted
that is. I don't know if you just like bring me down or what, but
uh,
nah, yeah, I really liked Indy in that one. They feel like a complete team right now. If you got Super Bowl aspirations, you can't get slipped up on a game like that where Pitt's defense looks very bad. They have a bunch of big names out there, but they're not playing well together.
they're old.
And you expect Indy just go in there and do with what they want in that game. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's on historic pace numbers this year. Like, it's insane. Like, maybe if he ends up staying on that pace, we actually see a non-quarterback win MVP.
Well, as of right now, there's not a lot of the elite quarterbacks are not playing their best, except one guy in Philly. Nobody's bringing his name up, whatever. But yeah, truthfully, like in all seriousness, yeah, Jonathan Taylor has to be a top 5 MVP candidate right now, easily. Alexander, I guess the only thing I would say to that is just like, it's bad gambling advice to say like just because you think the team's going to win 3 points, take them. Like the Colts could win this and not cover, I guess. But I don't know. This is bad advice. But if you really believe the team is that much better than them, don't worry about the points. That's bad advice. Don't listen to that. All right. Anything else on that one?
I mean, I'll just say, like, I believe in Indy more than I do Green Bay, and if Green Bay was able to handle Pitt, then I should think that this way. It's the NFL. Anything can happen on any week, and not every team matches up the exact same against every team the same.
Yeah, I'd ask you a question at the top of the pod, like how do you feel like you're seeing teams? I feel like I'm actually seeing a lot of these teams pretty clearly. I'm not seeing how they randomly match up to each other.
Yeah.
I
Agreed.
mean, like the Falcons making Tua look like a legend. All right, now last pick, rounding out our picks. It's a pick 6 this week. Let's go. And none you have listed so far I would go against. I'd be on your side in all of them. So I'm actually going to put one in with all 5 of those together. But I have one you're not going to like, and that is the Chicago Bears facing the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bears are 3-point favorites on the road. And you may be sitting there wondering, wait, why would you not like it? Of course, like you hate the Bears and the Bengals offense looks absolutely incredible. Why would you not like it at all? Because I'm on the Bears, Alexander. They're going to kill the Bengals. The Bengals defense is abysmal. Joe Flacco's AC joints messed up. For some reason, they think that this old man's going to suddenly recover and be good. We saw how terrible this Bengals team is with Jake Browning. They just figured something out in the few weeks Flacco played called throw the ball to Jamar Chase on a historic pace. He'd have like over 300 targets if he was on this pace all year. Look, the Bears have been not looking great. They were 4-2 last year. They were 4-2 this year. Some people are saying it's the same thing. They have Ben Johnson. It's different. Caleb's not been great. He's inconsistent. Even if you're a Caleb fan, you have to agree he's inconsistent. The Bears are going to kill the Bengals this weekend. I love this matchup because I think this is where people stop believing in the Bears and they're like, I don't know, the Bengals offense. The Bears secondary is a little, you're right. Flip it the other way. Bears get it going this weekend. They take down the Bengals. The 3 points is not easy, but I think they can do it, and I think they beat them up, and then the score will be reflective of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. If Flacco was fully healthy and in that game, I would be taking Bengals right now, and it'd be one of my picks of the week. But the question there, like questionableness around Flacco and his injury, I just didn't want any part of it. But I think that right there was enough for me to say, just stay away from this game. You obviously don't believe in Chicago if you think Joe Flacco starting for the Bengals is enough to cover 3 points and probably beat them. I would honestly pick them to win and confidently. Like, I'm completely out on the Chicago team. They
Okay.
are who I thought they were, and I'm glad I was right on that. I didn't fall for all this off-season hype that everybody kept trying to give Chicago. They're just a bad team, and Caleb Williams sucks. I've said it from the beginning when they drafted him. Dude's just awful. I want no part to ever believe in Caleb Williams to win me a bet.
Listen, everything you just said is exactly what I'm saying, bro. That's what everybody's feeling. The majority of people are feeling that way unless you're a Chicago fan. I'm seeing through it. I'm seeing that people are I think more people that are going to listen to this, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with him that the Bears are bad, Caleb Williams is bad? They should not be favored really against any team that's decent at all, especially on the road. And I will tell you, I agree that that's what people are thinking. And I'm seeing through that and I'm saying, no, 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 no. The Bengals are bad. I've been right about the Bengals since the beginning of last year. You can't block, you can't tackle. You're not a good team. Just last week, you were at the breakfast with me. We got asked about the. I said, y'all think without Joe Burrow that they're going to have a chance to make the playoffs? What are you talking? This team's awful. Now I know we're arguing different things at this point because you're not saying you believe in the Bengals either. But my goodness, they're really bad, and the Bears are not a horrible football team. They're an NFC team. The NFC's tough. They're better than the Bengals. If you can look me square in the face and tell me the Cincinnati Bengals have the same roster as the Chicago Bears besides their two playmaking receivers, you're crazy.
This is the same team, though, that lost to a Baltimore team who has looked like complete crap without Lamar out there. Like, they basically need Lamar covers like a bunch of stuff and problems for that team. And Baltimore went in there and just it wasn't a great game, but they beat them. And it wasn't. They made Chicago look silly.
Thank you.
This is a Baltimore defense that has looked awful all year, and Caleb couldn't do nothing against it.
Listen, two things. Number one, narrative-wise, you're proving my point that last week everybody was believing in the Bears because Lamar was out. When nobody starts to believe in them, they're going to come through. But secondly, you know what the Ravens did that was very smart? We saw how bad the Ravens have looked without Lamar. Didn't look as bad this week. You know why? Because they didn't have an immobile quarterback. They put a guy by there who can run around. Who for the Bengals is making plays with their feet? You think Joe Flacco's turning back into Traco? No, it's not happening. He's an immobile quarterback. They're not going to get beat. Love the Bears in this game. Love it even more now. Ride with me. Bears fans, I got your back.
My last Pig City pick of the week, I'm going with the matchup that should be in the 4 o'clock slate at all. It should have got flexed to a primetime game. I mean, I don't even know why it wasn't a primetime game to begin with. I mean, we got Kansas City. They're 2.5-point favorites on the road, taking on Buffalo. We're talking a playoff matchup here. We're talking two of the top teams in the AFC. And there's just no reason it should be in the 4 o'clock slate. It should have been a primetime game to begin with to start the year. Like, were they worried somebody would be like hurt before this point? Like, I don't even understand NFL scheduling.
Dude, it's
money. Just awful.
TV Network, CBS protected this game. You get to protect a few. They had to keep this one.
I guess, but But other than that, I've said it for the last couple
Oh,
weeks.
no, no.
Kansas City is going to the Super Bowl this year. They are the best team, hands down, in the AFC. If you didn't jump in back then, you better be jumping on now. You better be putting in the bets. They're going back to the Super Bowl. They are just better than every team in the AFC. They have their numbers. They just got it clicking. Their offense looks better than it even thought about looking last year. And I mean, a lot of the things last year, everybody was like, yeah, but like their offense really ain't that good, but they still made it work. They did what they needed to do just because they are a veteran team. They know what needs to be done. They understand what to expose when they're playing teams, what matchups are going to benefit them. And they have Rice back. Rice has been huge for this team. I mean, he possibly turned like this team around. I mean, he's been amazing for them. And just getting him back is just unlocked so much for them. I mean, I get they're going to be without Pacheco, but I would almost argue that might be better for them because Pacheco, even towards the back end of last year, didn't look really that great. And this year, he hasn't been great. Hunt's Hunt at this point. Like, he's going to get your touchdowns. I honestly think it's going to allow them to play Smith more. And I think that'd be great for their team. Get a little speed back out there. And yeah, give me Kansas City in this at 2.5. I just love this line. Like, I'm fully confident in this pick. It's probably my favorite pick of the week.
I might blow your mind here. I pretty much agree with every single thing you said. I would add in Worthy being fully healthy is also another element that helps Rice. And you know who helps more than anybody? It helps Kelsey. We saw last week they were back to playing backyard football. Listen, Kelsey at his age, he can't be your best passer. He can't be your best receiver. But when you have two electric guys, and Thornton can stretch the field a little too.
Hollywood Brown, random stretches can do enough.
You know how I feel about Smith. I like their backfield so much more when you think of Hunt and Smith. But regardless, Pacheco's not terrible. Their offensive line's been better. Their tackle play's been better. That's the thing. Look, we can make it about all these other things, but people, offensive line is the number one factor in whether or not your team is going to sustain being great or not. We got fooled because Mahomes was able to overcome bad offensive line play. Mostly any other quarterback cannot do that. So that's the thing. So respect to the Chiefs. I guess I would just say like sometimes the Bills would win in a situation like this. And then you got to think, is this setting up a postseason matchup where you're going to pick the Chiefs? When these two teams play each other in the playoffs this year, you're picking the Chiefs regardless of this game, right? So like unless the Bills absolutely dominate them in injuries. But in general, it's going to be a competitive game. It's going to be a close game. I hate having to play Bills players against this Chiefs team in fantasy. I think there's a chance the Bills could win a really tight one just so that it makes the matchup in the playoffs better because it's like, hey, they won the regular season game again. Can they win it this time? But when I look at it, like besides last week, the Bills haven't really looked smooth and the Chiefs look like they're getting it more and more together.
I mean, let's put it this way. If the Bills were in a close game against Carolina, I would be fading the Bills like in every game going forward. Luckily, they came out and dominated like everybody thought they should. They finally looked a little bit better, but then at the same time, how much of that was because they played Carolina?
Yeah, you're right. You know, I went ahead and added Smith in our main fantasy league right now because I've been wanting to do it. I just couldn't decide who to drop him for. So thanks for that recap. Really might have helped me win title there. All right. Just kidding. Yeah, so I don't want to bet on that one for one main reason though. I wanted to say this. I just want to enjoy this game. I'm going to try to not think about fantasy. I just want to watch this for what it is. Two juggernauts. We've not seen a lot of good football between good teams this year. We just haven't. And I want to be able to enjoy this game as much as I can, and I'm not going to be able to do that if I'm worried about points at the end of the games. No disrespect to you. That's another factor. All right, Alexander, speaking of bad football, our next matchup we're going to go through, again, to clarify, we don't have to pick side or anything. We're just kind of talking about the game. Chargers at the Titans. Chargers 8.5-point favorites, of course. The Titans are horrible. They're abysmal. You've been kind of liking what you're seeing a little bit more from McCoy. You meaning you specifically, Alexander. I don't see a whole lot of difference of how this team feels, except for they're getting DK a little more involved. Fun fact, I didn't realize this. He was actually drafted before Elick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know we knew that, but like it makes more sense now where it's like him being involved, I do like in the offense. Chargers aren't losing this game. It's a lot of points and they can let you down. Herbert probably goes crazy. I'd be lying if I said I'm excited about this game, Alexander. Tell me why I should like it at all.
I mean, Chargers should roll this one. But it's the Chargers. They'll probably find a way to make this game close for some stupid reason. It's just what the Chargers do. But what I will say, like, if you are a Tennessee fan, yes, Ward hasn't looked great, but he has looked a little bit better the last couple weeks. And hopefully that continues to develop a little bit more and they start getting out of him what they expect. But I mean, they're not, as a Titans fan, you're not expecting to be world beaters first year with them. Like, everybody knew it was going to be a growing pain. There was a lot of issues that need addressed in Tennessee. Getting a quarterback wasn't going to fix all that in 1 year for you. So, but yeah, I mean, Chargers should win this one and should
Yeah.
win it easily.
And I hate to sound like a broken record, Alexander, but you know the biggest flaw with the Chargers? At offensive line play. I'm not trying to just make excuses for Herbert, but it's true. We saw a couple weeks ago when they got bullied. He was getting thrown around everywhere. And it's hard to overcome, man. It really, really is. Luckily for him, I don't think it's gonna matter because he just got to get the ball in Ladd's hand a few times, hit Keenan's bomb. They have playmakers. They'll be fine. Ghost. Now we saw a little guest in your background. All right, next game is the Carolina Panthers, they're the Carolina Panthers. That's all I'll say. Green Bay looking like the cream of the crop in the NFC. 13.5 is just a big line. You never know. Alexander, I have something I want to say about this Packers team. It's a take I've been building on. I think I'm going to save it until after this game to fully flesh it out, but I'll give you just a basic headline of it. Can we stop with the Jordan Love is an MVP? That is so huge. Watch a game and tell me he was masterful. I don't get it. Like, am I just a hater? I don't hate Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love. But like these articles, the beginning of the year, if I could take any quarterback in the league, I'd take Jordan Love. He's a top 5 quarterback easily. Jordan Love, after last week, another masterful MVP performance. I watch a lot of I understand they want to elevate quarterbacks. I don't understand. They're a good team. I am over the Jordan Love hype train. And the reason I bring that up is because I don't care anything about this game. This game's terrible. The Packers are probably going to kill them. But I'm over the Jordan Love MVP conversation.
Yeah, the Packers should beat them down, but who knows? Like, Carolina is like a weird team to just like kind of evaluate. I mean, it sounded like after last week's game, their coach said, yeah, like Rico's look really good. Like, sounded like they might try to get Rico a little bit more involved. And if they do, we've seen what he can do if he's the focal running back, which I think he should be at this point. He's proved it. He's been dominating with the chances he's gotten. And if they unleash Rico in this one, I think they could make it a close game and kind of like sneak in and make it an enjoyable game to watch. But it's going to be kind of one of those, you just don't know what you're going to get out of Carolina. And with it being a big line, that's why I stayed away from it, because I was like, Carolina could easily sneak in and cover that. If they play it right, they could possibly be in this game.
Yeah. I mean, it's all good points, but I just don't like watching the Panthers play football at this point. I really don't. And I'll say this, I don't actually really like the way the Packers play either, for being honest.
But to speak on like your Jordan Love stuff, I completely agree. Jordan Love's always been
Thank you.
the same person throughout his whole career. The dude he can look very good at times, but then he can look like he's just panicking back there and just slinging it, throwing it, just random places. And you're like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, calm down. He just gets like too excited at times and kind of loses himself. And like, if you're going to be an MVP or a top quarterback of this league, you can't be like that all over the place. You got to be composed. And I just don't see Jordan Love fully ever being composed.
Yeah, and I
Like,
guess
it looked like at the beginning of the year, like, oh, maybe we got a different one. Like, the whole joke, like, before was he has to wait till Toyotathon to ever do anything. And he came out and it's like, oh, we got a different Jordan Love. And then, no, he's still there. He came out and showed himself for a couple
and
weeks.
obligatory mention, Packer fans. Yes, Tucker Kraft's a monster. He's a beast. He's great.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you didn't say that earlier. Matthew Golden, wide receiver 1, maybe not. They just can't find a real like guy there.
Watson coming back. He
I think
looked
that
pretty
just hurt
decent.
them fantasy wise. I don't think they really care.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I have a take for you. We're not a take pod, but I guess we are. Not specifically in play style, but in production and narrative. I just realized in real time who Jordan Love is. He's Dak Prescott. No, seriously. Think of the amount of times you've heard Dak Prescott mentioned in an MVP conversation, but the amount of times you've seen Dak Prescott win a meaningful game. The last time that everyone thought they were really going to go on a run, he lost to Jordan Love. So, like, that is a weird. Keep that one in your back pocket that Jordan Love is Dak Prescott.
He like stole his powers in that playoff game.
Should I say it or should you?
Say it.
It needs to be studied. All right, Alexander. Denver, Houston. Denver, Houston. Houston, 1.5-point favorites yet again against a potential playoff team. They bullied San Francisco. Offense looked a little better, but their defense is so good. And then Denver, now without Surtain, they lose him in the game against the Cowboys. You're thinking, oh, CD's about to go crazy. Didn't matter. Denver's offense looked good. Honestly, besides Cortland Sutton, every receiver was getting touches, getting involved. RJ Harvey with the hat trick. This Denver team, is this just a simple, like, they're flying high and they're about to play a bully of a defense? Like, this line's really weird, and I'm assuming that's why you didn't pick it. I did have it as my fourth, like, option. I was about to pick it. That and Kansas City, to be honest. But so I really do like Denver in this. Tell me why this is not just a trap of, like, am I overthinking Vegas where they're like, last week everybody lost big time by picking San Francisco? So now everyone's going to be like, we're not doing that again. We're going with Houston this time. And now they're going to get trampled. That's what I feel like is going to happen.
That's a good possibility, but I stayed away from it because it felt like the same situation with the San Fran. And that's why like it was in my final selections because I like Denver in this one. But I just ended up staying away from it. Yes.
Do you think Denver or San Francisco are a better team right now?
Oh, Denver.
So this makes even less sense.
Yeah. But Houston's defense has looked extremely great this year. It's been one of their strong points. It's kind of what's kept their season alive.
100%.
And it's just, Denver has so many like weapons and their offense at times just looks extremely great. But then they'll randomly it looks like they don't know what they're doing. And like they just lose flow. I mean, they got down big against the Giants and then it took an amazing fourth quarter to rally back and win that. And if you get down against this Houston's defense, you're not rallying back. And that's like, I guess where Houston should be favorite. It's just because their defense has been extremely great this year. But I don't know. I just felt like a trap game, so I stayed away from it.
Respect to the Texans, I guess, if they win this one, keeping their playoff hopes alive. Because the division's getting out of hand with how the Colts are playing. And that's why, folks, I want to teach you a lesson here today. Don't go all in on preseason things, because that division winner is going to cost me every single way.
I will say this. I was fully in on the Colts. And I think when we did it, they still had quarterback up in the air, but I told you it should be Daniel Jones. But if Daniel Jones had been anointed the position like immediately, I would have been fully all in on the Colts to win this division. Like I just was that strong on it. But then when they kept acting like it was competition, I'm like, am I just wrong about my thoughts on Daniel Jones? Like, how's this a competition? Like, he should easily come in and win this job from Richardson.
Well, my thoughts were wrong on the Colts, that I thought they were genuinely doing that they genuinely didn't know. I don't think that was true at all looking back. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Nah.
Especially, and again, I'm not even trying to hate on Anthony Richardson here. That's not the point. But especially, like, you see and hear the stories of Shane Steichen just hanging out with Daniel Jones during the week. Like, they're going to games together, a head coach, and like, what? That's who Steichen is, and I love him. And I'm happy for DJ, Duke Gang, Shouts out. Sorry. All right. New Orleans Saints taking on the Rams. I think they're getting their guy back. Puka may be back, so Stafford's probably not throwing 5 touchdowns to 5 different people. Or not 5 different people, but throwing to like 9 different people. And Adams probably isn't having a hat trick of touchdowns. But this is the biggest line of the week, and rightfully so, because this is a bottom tier team with Shuck. Is it Shuck? Getting his first start for the Saints. He's officially starting. This is just close your eyes, and I guess if you like player sides, do it, but this is a disgrace that this game is not on at 1 o'clock. This game should have been buried in the mid. Who, like you said, who was in charge of scheduling that thought the Saints would be competitive enough to have them playing here? I get it's West Coast, like it's defaultly going to have a better chance of being there, but my goodness, put this some other place. This is an awful, awful game. And there's enough I'm excited about this week. It's fine. But the fact that I'm about to have to watch Jake Browning and Tyler Shuck in the same window is an absolute despicable display of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah. This game, I mean, Rams should handle them easily, but I don't know what to think of their quarterback change. Who knows? Like, he's inaccurate throughout his whole career, but he can throw a ball and he can throw it deep. And Saints do have one of the best, like, deep ball threats in Shaheed. Like,
Great
if you
candidate.
can just get him, like, going, they got a chance to make this a close one just because of that and easily cover 14. So that was the end of the day was why I just stayed away from it.
We don't have to keep this in, but Jimmy, you literally have been listening. He literally messaged, did you? Oh, he just sent it to me. No, he says, hey, buddy. He literally called me buddy, first of all. He said, hey, buddy, the Bengals play at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I thought that, but I wasn't going to correct you.
No, correct me. That's fine. I can be wrong about the time of a game. Okay. Sorry. Of all the, go, take the next game. I've introed every game. I don't even want the last one because Jim, oh my God.
Our last matchup was actually in consideration for me and one of my picks of the week. It's Jacksonville, 3-point favorites going into Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Jacksonville at times has looked very confident, but then at other times it's like, are you just the same team you've always been? And to be honest, I think it just comes down to Trevor Lawrence. Like, he's looked competent at times and looks like, hey, he's finally starting to look like who we thought he was when he got picked. And then he just randomly just goes back to like random decisions. And it's like, what are we doing here, dude? Like, you got to be smart. And then the Raiders, you have Geno, like, he's just not been the same Geno this year. I don't know what happened. I get his receiving options basically were all depleted at one point.
Brock Bowers back this week.
Yeah, maybe that changes it.
And he also got Lockett back.
Yeah. You think Lockett plays this week for him on a short week?
I don't know, but I like Vegas in this one. Not enough to pick them, but I like them.
Yeah. Say I like Jacksonville in this one.
Bye week.
Yeah, hopefully Vegas, for their sake, you got to figure out how to consistently get Genty involved. You spent a high pick on him, and he's got to be a focal point. And I think when we've seen them compete in games, he's been very productive in those games. So you got to get him going. You can't just hardly use him and then go pass heavy. Like, Geno's not at the state in his career where he should be relied on to go pass heavy because he's going to have some bad throws and just throw it up and there's going to be a bunch of picks, and you just got to limit that. You got to make it to where he can go back there and just be a game manager. And if he's able to do that, you saw what he did last year with Seattle in those type of moments. So figure out how to do that, Vegas, and maybe you got something there.
Yeah, that's a call out to Chip Kelly directly. You know, he coached his cousin last year, and now he's coaching Geno. Fun little tidbit for y'all. But you know what helps with that? Getting your tight end involved, especially when you got a playmaker tight end. Brock said he was very disappointed and angry that they told him he needed to rest, so he felt like he could go. So
he might have felt like he could go, but you could tell he didn't look like the same Brock.
I agree, but I'm just saying they know, like, it wasn't like he felt like himself he needed to get right, which just shows me they really were taking their time and he's ready. Also, just guys, just make it to week 11 so you can compete against Dallas. After that, I really don't care what the Raiders do. All right. That is it for our Sunday slate. Hello, everybody. If you're still with us on the full pod, thank you for being here. If you are just joining for this clip, it's Sunday Night Football. And Alexander, we have what many people probably would have thought would be a absolute primetime matchup if I told you the way the Seahawks were playing. But unfortunately, Seattle's traveling to Washington, the worst field in the entire NFL, to take on the Washington Commanders. Seattle's 3-point favorites. Jaden Daniels looks like he's going to be under center. Well, not really, because he doesn't really get under center, but you get the point. He's going to be the quarterback of this game, it looks like. We're not sure 100%. Is that enough for you to take Washington to beat Seattle, or are you riding the Seattle team that I was wrong about how good their defense really could be? Because this Washington team has been kind of trash.
This one comes down to I believe in Seattle. I don't believe in Washington. So I'm going to take Seattle, but I did see like a couple stats, but I decided to ignore them. But I did see a couple stats where Seattle's defense against a hurry-up offense is literally one of the worst defenses in the NFL. And what team runs the most no hurry-up in the NFL? That is Washington. So if they go a bunch of hurry-up in this, they could keep that Seattle defense on their toes. You get them at their weakest point, and Washington could easily go in there and win this game. Do I think that's going to happen? No, because I just don't think Washington's a good team. I believe in Seattle way more. I think they're a good team. So, yeah, give me that all day.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me because they're like not really compatible in my eyes. I like Seattle a lot also. I'm with the Hawks. So 12, stand up. And that was our Sunday night pick. All right. What's up, everybody? It is Monday night pickings. If you're here with us, you're ready to watch some Monday Night Football, as we are as well. Let's wrap up the week with a good one. We have the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler looks like he's going to be back, facing the Dallas Cowboys, who just got absolutely boat raced by the Broncos. The Cowboys are 2.5-point favorites. Alexander, who you got? Why you got them?
This one was, in a way, kind of tough just because Dallas defense sucks. And Kyler could easily go in there and just dominate. But at the end of the day, Arizona's defense sucks. And Dallas offense is very good this year. It's their main reason they're even winning games and competing in games is because their offense has like been really great. They got freaking Javonte Williams looking like the guy we always thought he could be. You got CD back. Pickens is actually looking really great now. Ferguson is just, well, I don't think he did much last week.
He got blanked last week.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But prior to that, he's been one of the top tight ends in the league. And Dak has just been able to just
MVP.
pass around and lead this team. So with saying all that, yes, give me Dallas. I hate saying that actually, but yeah, I like Dallas at 2.5 in this one. And I think it just comes down to I don't trust this Arizona team. I didn't in the preseason. I still don't. Arizona is the same Arizona team I always thought they were.
There comes a time in everyone's life where they have to admit the regrets they've had. And I've regretted this Arizona team over and over and over. But one thing I've never regretted is cheering against the Cowboys. Unfortunately, this week, I could not go against them completely because I cannot trust this Arizona team. I've been in a pretzel, a whirlwind, a carousel, merry-go-round, whatever you want to call it, Ferris wheel, anything that's in circular motion. That's been my brain thinking about this game because what I want and what I think is going to happen are not near each other. And because of Jimmy's rules, we have to pick a game. We have to pick a side of a primetime game. I'm not going to say what you said of who you're going with. I'm going against the Cardinals. Okay. I sincerely say this. There's one primetime slate I'm good at, and it's Monday night. And I got to just keep it going. So I got to pick the right side. But I hope all you
Hope you're
listeners,
wrong.
I hope I am wrong. I hope they get absolutely destroyed. I hope Kyler looks like Call of Duty's just coming out. Crap. Yeah. Cardinals lose. All right. Alexander, final thoughts for the full week. Actually, I don't really care what you got to say anymore, dude. We've talked enough.
My final thoughts is NFL needs to figure out what their NFL scheduling process is and put the right games in the right windows.
What's more likely, the Titans win this week or the Saints win this week?
Who's Titans play? Chargers, Saints play, Rams, Titans.
Yeah, see? Hater. All right.